So who do you think it's going to be? Gavin Newsom? I think probably Gavin Newsom, but we'll see. McCarthy floats impeachment inquiry into Garland over DOJ weaponization. Oh boy, here it comes. The reason I bring up Gavin Newsom is they're coming for the Bidens. We all know about the text messages. The story's coming out. The White House is hammered over Hunter Biden text message to Chinese associate. Journalists must have been given the green light to go after the Biden administration over the issue of Hunter Biden and Joe Biden being crooked. But why? Why protect and defend them despite all of the criminal activity and evidence of criminal activity? Why defend them? Because the machine at the time wanted the Bidens to win. They wanted Joe Biden to go up against Trump. Now they know without COVID, without lockdowns, without all these insane policies, they're likely not going to beat Trump in round two. So they need someone else. Perhaps it will be Gavin Newsom. That's why I bring it up. But here's where we're currently at. Impeaching Merrick Garland. Why? Well, because they knew that Hunter and Joe Biden were doing untoward activities and they were given a stand down order. The Bidens were protected. Here's the story from the Hill. Speaker Kevin McCarthy floated a possible impeachment inquiry into Attorney General Merrick Garland over alleged political bias and weaponization of the Department of Justice, with the push fueled by an IRS whistleblower's claims about tax crimes investigations into Hunter Biden. Now, let me just play the video for you so you can hear for yourself. Here's Kevin McCarthy. Wait, I got to fix the audio because I always do that. Here we go. Audio is fixed.
His business partners 12 times. 12 different times and 12 different deals, perhaps. So it's according to Rob Walker, who was in on all this stuff. Good friend. He's all over the laptop. So will this prompt you to do a impeachment inquiry?
Well, you apparently don't follow me on Twitter, because yesterday I laid out very, very clearly by July 6th, because of the allegations from the IRS, because of the whistleblowers and the DOJ, Garland, what he is saying and what David Weiss are saying privately are two different things.
Right.
And if it comes true what the IRS whistleblower is saying, we're going to start impeachment inquiries on the Attorney General.
So there you go. Come July 6th. They want to get down to the facts here. But if the facts as presented are correct, Merrick Garland impeached. He's the Attorney General. Take a look at this story from the Washington Examiner. White House hammered over Hunter Biden text message. Now, many of you may have seen the texts, but I must say I was out all last week, so I'm going to get into it now. From the Examiner, IRS whistleblowers reveal new info on Joe Biden's link to Hunter Biden's China deals. Here's a quote. "I am sitting here with my father." There it is. IRS whistleblower disclosures reveal fresh allegations about President Joe Biden's ties to his son's foreign dealings, including a Hunter Biden text message demanding payment from a Chinese businessman threatening that I'm sitting here with my father. Here's the message. "I'm sitting here with my father, and we would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled. Tell the director that I would like to resolve this now before it gets out of hand. And now means tonight. And Z, if I get a call or text from anyone involved in this other than you, Zhang, or the chairman, I will make certain that between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows, and my ability to forever hold a grudge, that you will regret not following my direction. I am sitting here waiting for the call with my father." Joe Biden lied. Joe Biden claimed Hunter didn't do anything wrong. Joe Biden claimed I don't have anything to do with this business. Joe Biden claimed I don't even talk to him about it. And now, perhaps, Hunter Biden was lying. And he wasn't really sitting there with his dad. But come on. Do you think anyone fears Hunter Biden? No. How about a former vice president and now president? The time of this text, I believe, was 2017. So let me make sure I read this. I believe the text is from 2017. They say, the IRS whistleblower also said in a newly released transcript that a Hunter Biden business associate told the FBI that Joe Biden had stopped by at least one China-related business meeting at Hunter Biden's apparent request. The optics prevented a search warrant at Joe Biden's guest house, and that the assistant U.S. attorney in the Delaware Federal Prosecutor's Office had told investigators, don't ask about the big guy. Oh, boy. The whistleblower claims came from two IRS agents who played roles in the Hunter Biden investigation. Gary Shapley, a supervisory agent with the IRS criminal investigation, and an unnamed IRS case agent who was referred to as Whistleblower X. Shapley's transcribed interview included a portion of a December 8th, 2020 recorded conversation in Arkansas between an FBI agent and Hunter Biden business associate Rob Walker, where Walker said Joe Biden had made an appearance at a meeting regarding efforts by Hunter Biden, Walker, and others to set up a lucrative deal with since defunct Chinese energy conglomerate CEFC. So we know about this stuff. Joe Biden's a big guy. He's the big guy who gets 10%. 10% for the big guy. It's all based on him. Do you think the Biden family, outside of Joe, has any merit? Joe Biden's brother getting lucrative construction contracts, according to Politico magazine. Why? Because of Joe. Hunter Biden being placed on the board of Burisma in Ukraine. Why? No experience, doesn't speak the language. And they say, oh, because he's a lawyer, he got experience. Come on. He's a proxy for Joe Biden. It's the only thing that makes sense. And now here's where we're at. White House is getting hammered over Hunter Biden text message with Chinese associate. For 4 minutes, reporters hammered Karine Jean-Pierre for being a lying piece of garbage. And she kept saying nothing has changed. No. But they wouldn't let up. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like the journalists either. I think they're also snakes. These journalists lying, cheating, and stealing and ignoring what was right before their very eyes until now. Because perhaps the real intent perhaps is to get Joe Biden out of the running. Now, it is kind of interesting because, you know, people are like, they want to get rid of Joe Biden and then get someone else in. And I'm like, Joe Biden is the deep state. Like you're saying, like the intelligence agencies want to remove Joe Biden. He's working for them. Is he not? Maybe something happened. And they said, Joe, you're not running again. And he was like, I can do it. Or maybe they need a way for it to be reasonable. I don't know. Joe Biden could simply say that he wants to pass the torch. He had a good run. He was vice president, had a term as president. He's moving on. So why go after him in this way? I don't have the answers to that. I don't. What I can tell you is Hunter Biden's lawyer has explained the texts. Don't worry. My client was too doped up on crack to be trusted. Oh, so the criminal activity is fine because he was on drugs? Could you imagine someone robbing a liquor store and the lawyer's defense was he pleads insanity because he was on drugs? It's like, so he did two crime, not just one crime, two crime. Okay. Here's the story from Free Beacon. Hunter Biden was too doped up on crack cocaine when he invoked President Joe Biden's name in threatening texts to be taken seriously. The attorney, Chris Clark, said Hunter Biden's verifiable words or actions took place in the midst of a horrible addiction and therefore have no connection to anyone in his family. Really? We would like to understand why the commitment made has not been fulfilled, Hunter Biden said in a message. Clark's move to discredit his own client appeared to be an effort to shield the president from the implications of the message. If Joe Biden was sitting next to his son as he sent the message as it suggests, it would be a blow to his repeated claims that he never discussed overseas business deals with his son. 10 days after Hunter Biden sent the message, a Chinese official associated with CEFC China wired two payments totaling $5.1 million to the first son. IRS whistleblower Gary Shapley told the House Ways and Means Committee that federal prosecutors blocked their attempts to confirm the locations of Joe and Hunter Biden when the first son sent the threatening message through WhatsApp. But photos from Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop place him at his father's house the day he sent the message. So it's right there before your eyes. Now, why aren't they being criminally charged, investigated? Because Merrick Garland's protecting them. And that's obvious. Merrick Garland is protecting the Biden crime family. Now, I know it's funny because calling the Biden crime family a crime family makes them sound cooler than they really are. But no one said they had to be competent to be a crime family. You got incompetent crime families too. But let's call it like we see it. They shielded the Biden family because they hated Trump so much. There's no point in talking about whether Joe Biden should or shouldn't be president. The reality is this. Corrupt criminal elements in our government subverted the 2020 election. Now, I know everyone's going to be like, oh, Tim's saying, no. I'm not talking about fraud. I'm not talking about Chinese ballots. I'm talking about suppressing the laptop story, protecting Hunter and Joe from what is legitimately corruption, overt corruption, protecting them. Now, you can talk about stealing an election in the case of like changing the laws and stuff. I'm saying federal law enforcement protected the Bidens knowing they should have been charged. They should have been investigated. Why? So that Trump would lose. We'll see what happens if anything happens with an impeachment. I'll leave it there. Next segment's coming up at 6 p.m. on this channel. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see y'all then.